What's up guys, this is Tariq here from smartbiketrainers.com, and this is the Kinetic R1 direct drive trainer, and this is the first direct drive trainer that also rocks and roll. But before I get into all the details of the R1, it is worth mentioning that I did have my hands on this unit, well, not this exact unit, a different unit last year, and I published a video voicing my concern with the Kinetic's quality control. That unit I received last year had a faulty electric board, which resembled other issues I've encountered with other wheel-on smart units. And credit to Kinetic though, they pulled that R1 off the market and stopped sales of the R1 for a while. And according to the company, this issue was introduced by the manufacturer after they approved the electric boards. And I'm not going to get into all the details here. However, if you want to learn more about that, you can check out the review on smartbiketrainers.com, and I'll have a link to it in the description below. But in summary, Kinetic addressed the issue, and they are now confident with the new supplier, and the R1 is back on the market. Now, I have been using this new R1 unit for a few weeks now, and in this video I'll talk about the specs, what you get in the box, the assembly, power accuracy, and finally noise. And if you like this video and want to see more stuff like this and learn more about indoor training, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon too. Okay, let's dig into the technical specs. The R1 is a direct drive trainer and retails for $1,050. It has a maximum resistance of 2,000 watts and supports slope up to 20%. It does have a hefty 14 pounds flywheel, and it does feel like a 14 pounds flywheel. The road feel on this thing is pretty good. It is compatible with 130, 135 millimeter quick release hubs and 142, 148 millimeter through axle boost. It supports Shimano, SRAM, SRAM XD drivers, and Campagnolo cassettes. However, you do need to get a replacement free hub for the XD and Campagnolo, which is available on the Kinetic website. It does support all the new standard communication protocols, ANT+, FEC, Smart Bluetooth, and FTMS. So technically, you should be able to pair it to any cycling apps out there that supports these protocols, and it should work. I personally tested it with Zwift, Trainer Road, and the Sufferfest, and it worked okay on all three. And there's also a USB port available if you want to hardwire it directly to your PC if you prefer to do that. But there is a caveat here. As of today, no apps support this feature. Interestingly, I did a poll on Twitter last week asking if you guys would like to see a hardwire option, and the majority of you said you're fine with wireless. I'm fine with wireless as well, and I've never had an issue with it since I switched to Bluetooth, but I was actually kind of surprised by the results. So I am curious, let me know down in the comment section below if wireless is okay for you, or if you would like to see a hardwire option. I think with the emergence of esports, reliable and secured connection is becoming more essential than ever. The R1 does require calibration and transmits power and speed. No cadence though. The Kinetic R1 originally measured cadence, however the company removed cadence measurement later on, and instead they are now including a separate cadence sensor. Did Kinetic think I'm going to give them a pass on this one? I have been very critical of Wahoo for not having cadence measurement for years. This is a problem if you use Apple TV to run Zwift or any other cycling app, but they did say they will bring cadence measurement back. However, until then, if you order one today, you should find a separate cadence sensor included in the box. And talking about the box, you'll find the power cord, different spacers, quick release, and a 6 months free trial to the Kinetic Fit app, 30-day free trial to Ruby, and on the Sufferfest. It does not come with a cassette, so you need to purchase and install your own cassette. So the R1 is a rock and roll trainer, meaning it will rock side to side. That rocking motion felt great, and I found it to be very similar to having rocker plates. So if you do not like that rigid feel you get with most trainers, you're gonna love this thing. You can adjust that rocking motion by adjusting the bolts in the bottom. That's my only complaint about the rocking motion here. So every time you want to adjust that rocking motion, you need to unmount your bike, flip the trainer, and adjust the screws. So it is kind of a hassle if you are trying to find that sweet spot, or if you want to adjust the rocking motion mid-ride. Most likely, probably most of you will just leave it the way it is. I personally did not adjust it or find the need to make any adjustment, but I would like to see this move to possibly somewhere else where you can easily access it and make adjustment. Or if you want to go all out fancy and impress us, maybe make it electronics and allow for an in-app adjustability. Wait, can I patent that first? They also offer a rotating turntable for the front wheel riser. Basically, it gives you the ability to rotate the front handlebar to allow for a more natural side-to-side tilting. You can get this one for $26 on Amazon here in the US, and it does offer for different heights in half-inch increments. Okay, let's look into the accuracy side of things. Kinetic claims the R1 is accurate within plus minus 3%. Here's a 3x8 minute workout in erg mode. Power target was 275 watts. The first interval in erg mode I finished with an average of 274. Second interval was 274 again, and the third one was 273. So erg mode was spot on according to the R1 power measurement. But now let's see how close it was to my other power meter. So if I overlay my other power meters here, the Osteoma and the Power to Max crank-based power meter, you can see it was reporting a little bit higher. How much higher? Here's the data from each interval. As you see, it was between 4 to 4.74% against my power meters. So it is a bit off of their 3% accuracy claim. Now let's take a closer look at erg mode and see how it works. I like to look at the power distribution to see how quickly the trainer adjusts to variability in my cadence and power. So here's the power numbers again from my power meter, and according to my power meter I average in this interval 261 and 262. So if I look at the power distribution in the first interval, I was in the small chainring, and so anything within 10 watts of my average, I consider that within my target zone. And according to this chart, I spent 85% of the time within my target zone. That's in the small chainring. So, and that's 6 minutes and 41 seconds. 7.4% over 10 watts or over my target zone. So that's about 35 seconds, and 7.6% under my target zone. Generally, in the small chainring, I see smooth lines, and I usually see numbers over 90%. That's an indication of how quickly the trainer usually adjusts to my pedal stroke. But when switching to the big chainring and going to a bigger gear, the numbers drop to 67% and 64%, which I find it to be normal for any trainer. Now, let's go back to one of the workouts I did. What you're seeing here is the power lines with 4 seconds smoothing, but I'm going to remove that smoothing and watch what happened. It looks like an electrocardiogram chart or an EKG line. I'm not really sure what is going on here. To me, it looks like there's some kind of an artificial power smoothing going on. Then you see these large spikes, then it goes back down to my average power, then it spikes up again, and we're talking about 20 watts and over. But I wouldn't say I was feeling any resistance changes. Actually, the trainer feels very smooth in erg mode and pretty good. So I'm not sure what's going on here. As soon as you get out of erg mode, like you see here, that line or those spikes goes away. So I think there's some kind of a smoothing going on and these spikes happen. Not sure what's causing them. But as for sprints, the trainer overshoots big, and we're talking about 1000 watts. And I'm just gonna leave it there and just gonna move on. There's also this offline resistance mode. You can set the brake position in the app. It goes from 5 to 100. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you're traveling or if you want to take the trainer to a race, or I don't know, you're going to the North Pole where you do not have access to power, you can just ride it and you'll have some resistance. Except I couldn't get it to work because setting it from 5 to 100 gave me the same exact resistance, and I think it just sets it to 100 regardless because I found it extremely hard to pedal. As for noise, the original trainer was extremely noisy, and if you watch my original video you will see how noisy it was. And just for comparison's sake, I'm going to replay that clip real quick just so you can hear it. And here is the new R1. you will hear a big difference. And I think for today's standard, it is still noisy, but I wouldn't say it's too bad. I would say it's as loud as the Kicker 2017 model or the Cyclops X2, maybe a little bit louder. Then there is that fan noise. You will hear that fan running after every ride. I didn't think it's loud. It's not louder than any small fan. Okay, I think Kinetic still got some work to do here. That power accuracy need to get better, and I would like to see that noise come down a bit. Okay, if you are interested in this trainer or any other trainer, make sure to check out the smartbiketrainers.com price tracker, and I'll have a link to it in the description below. Also, I'll have our price tracker, proprietary price tracker, on the review page as well. It's not proprietary, but it will show you historical price view, and you can even sign up for an alert and you will get an email as soon as that price drops. Pretty cool, and I bet you did not know I have that on the website. And that's been it. Hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.